Wait, I don't even have it.
Camera. Look at Mom.
Okay, get away. Sorry. Where is it?
Right over there.
Oh my gosh. We had to read 2 poems and that, what is it called? Brownies.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the brownies piece or whatever it's called, like I think that they brought to light that like racism, like they think that kids are innocent from race, you know?
Mhm.
But that story really shows like that's not true. Like even little kids see color. They're not blind to that differences.
Are you shouting?
Yeah.
Alright, I don't see either of you.
I don't know what's wrong with this. Like I see both of you.
I can see Sophia, but I think I can only see the icon for Annie.
Okay.
Yeah, so that the brownies one really showed how much the kids. You're right about that, Annie.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at the questions. I don't even see the questions. Something is totally wrong with my
Wait,
computer.
also, so what does it mean to be black in these poems and the short story?
Okay,
I think
I have them.
It means to be black in these poems is that like it obviously in both the poems it says that it's like just different. The first poem about the dreams, it's like obviously like they don't get to follow their dreams because they're black.
Mhm.
So that's what it is. And then the other one is about how he just experiences everything different. It says parts of like how he's different because he's black. But in the other one, the brownies, the short story, it means basically that you are like definitely looked down upon and definitely like treated differently and have less of an advantage in all areas. In every area, those girls like obviously were poor. They had to like fight for themselves. They were the one being called names, you know. So I feel like to be black, it means to have less and to be looked at very differently, and to have a lot more to overcome societally.
Yeah.
Society.
I said, did you shower? Like I said, to.
Sorry.
The next question is, what is black experience here?
Oh, okay, so like in the first, like the dreams of the black, what is it called? Harlem. The story, like, I guess they're like, for me, it shows like their dreams are, it says defer, like, he's like saying that dreams are deferred, but what happens to those dreams? And I think like for the story, like for black people, like in this story is like, I think that's a good outcome, like their dreams explode. Is that not a good thing or is that a bad thing?
When?
Like, you know how it says at the end, or does it explode their dreams? Like, cause do dreams dry up or fester, become stink, or do they explode?
Oh, I felt like it was kind of just like, I don't know. I thought it meant bad, but
And I was like, does it explode to a good thing for like, or does it like get blown out of proportion, like, you know, or like it turns into a bad thing?
I thought it was just like negative. Like Does it explode into nothing? Like, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so that's the black experience in that one.
Yeah, just not being able to follow your dreams, kind of.
Okay. And then
Black
the
experience
theme for be.
is kind of like to be different, but to be like expected the same thing, and to like be supposed to live the same life, but be entirely different from everyone around you.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause he goes to college, but he's the only colored one. His instructor's white. Like,
And then like he was brought up like differently, or like he didn't have the same experiences as like the other people, but he's still expected to do the same.
Yeah.
And then he says, I guess being colored doesn't make me not like the same things other folks like
Yes.
who are other races. And then, yeah, so will my page be colored what I write? Like, I think like he's pointing out that you don't see color in anything else. We're all expected to do the same thing in life. We're all expected, when we write things or say things, we don't necessarily see a color.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm kind of confused.
That's good. And then the other one, the brownie story, it's kind of just like to be black means to be different, to be like almost less than, to like have to stick up for yourself, to really like fight to be treated the same and to not be like stepped on and stuff. That's what it means for those little girls. The next
But do you
question.
think like those other girls felt like they were like, do you feel like they were kind of like racist as well?
Do you feel like the black girls were racist against white girls?
Yeah, no, I feel like the black girls, like they already had like a thing against the white girls as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that they would have something against white girls because everybody was against. I mean, blacks, like, if you're black, you're gonna be racist against, not racist, but you're gonna have like racial tension with everyone because you know that everyone thinks less of you. So you're gonna have
That's
a
true.
resentment for white people because of the position that they put you in.
Okay. And then, so what ways does society shape what it means to be black?
I think that society definitely creates, like, currently, like, there is black, like, culture and there is, like, black, like, things like that. And our society, like, really separates white people and black people, and by saying, like, well, that's, like, a really black thing to do, or that's kind of, like, a hood thing to do, you know? So they kind of, like, push black people into, like, a ghetto, like, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's, like, hip-hop.
And it's the same thing for like what colored people do to white people. Like society pushes each other against one another. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but it was more so focusing on what ways does society shape what it means to be black. So basically, being black means that you're less than everybody else.
Yeah. Or that you're, like, a lot of times people think that black people are more violent or more, like, prone to be in trouble or not as smart or, like, less successful or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what society, like, those are, like, the things that you kind of already have, that already are in your head about black people before you really have ever even, like, you're not black, you know, before you ever even talk to black people.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what society makes it to be black. when you are black, because I'm not. So I don't know what that experience is actually being black and how society pushes you to be black, or what being black means. I've never experienced that, but
Yeah.
I know what it encourages, like, me and other white people or not black people think about black or black people.
My dad is actually like, he's African American, and my stepdad, and he like, I've learned a lot like from what he views, like just the automatic like what people think of him. Like I've actually like witnessed it like firsthand. Like it's not that much in Hawaii, because in Hawaii there's so many people that are, you know, different, so it's like a normal thing that there's, you know, a black person. But like just people tend to stay away from him, or like, you know, they think he's angry, or, you know, but like society pushes them to people to think that they are like that way, they are different, they're mean, and like then they feel sorry for themselves, you know, things like that. And then in what ways do these writers respond to that and make a concept of identity for their speakers?
I think that it, like, he makes especially in the second poem, he makes an identity for himself by like saying, I am the only colored person, I like to do these things, like, this is all my stuff, but that doesn't make me not like other people, but I am still different. Like, will my page be colored? Like, sometimes you don't want to be a part of me, like, all these things. Like, makes his identity based off of how he is similar and how he's different and how he will always be different and how people will always not want to be a part of him. And I mean, he also says, I do not want to be a part of you, but, nor do I often, but it kind of is about like how, like, I feel like he really builds his identity in that one. The first poem, I don't really feel like that much of an identity made. I don't know if you agree.
I don't feel like there was an identity. I mean, like oppressed, I don't know. Like their identity is kind of like they were oppressed.
And in the brownies one, when the girls talk about their, like, when the little girl describes all the other girls and describes, like, their clothes and their, like, mannerisms and kind of, like, little blurbs of, like, where they came from, it kind of, like, really creates the identity of, like, not only that these are little black girls, but, like, kind of why they are the way they are. Like, when she talks about the Daphne, like, picking up trash from the floor, like, she talks about how her mom, like, she's like, I can see her mom coming home from work, from cleaning other houses, like, you can see the poverty in her life, you know, and it was just, like, she really creates these identities of these little girls, which makes sense why they're acting and so, like, passionate, you know what I mean? Like, she builds their identities not just off of their color, but off of, like, their lifestyles and, like, what they've been through.
But I feel like the writer in Brownies, like, she shows two sides of race. Like, she can see, like, she shows that blacks are also mean, like the same kind of like anger that they accuse whites of having. Like, the little girl was starting to notice like her father was the same way towards those white people.
Yeah.
And like it shows like a lot of people tend to like oh, white and privileged, do you know what I mean? And sometimes that's not the case, but a lot of like colored people do say the same thing, like, oh, they're just white and colored. And so I think the author like really showed both views of how whites perceive blacks, or how blacks can also be the same way. They have the same prejudice against whites.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that they have that prejudice because of the position they've been put in.
Yeah.
think that she also shows that because of like she obviously talks about how they all have like all the white girls have like these really nice sleeping bags, all these like really nice clothes, but all the black girls
Yeah,
are
like she's been trained to see their privilege, you know?
realizes that like they are like she's like kind of giving you the background of why they feel that way because of the position that they're in because of white people, kind of, you know?
Yeah. So I feel like we understand these three poems, stories. Um, do you guys have any like other questions about the literature?
No.
You guys pretty much covered all of it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to stop the broadcast.